Hello, my name is Peter and we're going to work through a relaxation technique that's called the countdown or the count up. We're going to use numbers in order to focus on a relaxation response. Very interestingly, our bodies do take notice of counting patterns. There's something calming about counting numbers. In some ways, it brings attention to thinking, the front part of our brain, rather than maybe the other parts of our brain which might be focused on running away from something or dealing with something. This one just helps us to use numbers to create a calming response. So I don't know whether you're sitting in a chair or whether you're sitting on a couch, resting on a couch or lying on a bed, but you might like to get comfy. Might need to make sure you're nice and warm. There's a blanket at hand perhaps, and a glass of water to take a sip of water if your mouth feels a little bit dry to begin with, and also to have at the end to refresh your mouth. So we're going to just practice counting using our hands for a moment, and it's something you could do very subtly. You could just be, doing it if you're perhaps waiting for an appointment. So, and it's the pacing and it's the focus and maybe thinking about the fingers as we work through them. So let's start with that count then. Let's start with thinking about number 1 and number 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. And then moving on to the other hand and thinking 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. So just notice that slowly pacing yourself, counting through numbers can itself be a calming practice. And maybe it could be something that you can do discreetly when waiting for an appointment, or just while you're sitting on a bus or travelling. It can be a useful little technique to use. Okay, so we're going to do a more body-focused approach to counting, and this involves thinking from your toes to your face, the top of your head, and we're going to count through different parts of the body. And with the counting, we're going to think about a wave or a flow of relaxation flowing through those different parts of your body. So if you're resting on your couch, or if you're on your bed, or maybe if you're sitting in a chair, or if you're a passenger in a car, for example, being driven, this is something that you could perhaps do in your mind's eye. And so we're going to start with thinking about, again, going from the 10 down to the 1, and we're going to start with the feet. So let's just bring attention to our toes and our feet. And you might like to take a nice comfy breath in to begin, and just remember to breathe gently and calm in a steady way as we work through the body. So bring attention at number 10 to your toes and your feet, and it might be that your feet are resting on the ground, or resting on cushions, or resting on the bed, and just notice your feet sinking into the support of the ground, the cushions, or the bed. Moving up the body, think about your ankles and your knees, your legs. So for the count of number 9, think about your legs feeling supported, feeling comfortable, and sinking onto the couch or onto the bed. Moving up the body, thinking about the hips and the lower back, thinking of the number 8, thinking about your back sinking in to the couch or the support of the chair or bed. Moving up, thinking about the chest, thinking about the shoulders, thinking about the number 7, noticing the support to your upper back and your shoulders from the chair or from the couch. And then going from the shoulders, thinking about the number 6, thinking about the arms, the elbows, the forearms, and then down to the hands, feeling supported wherever they might be. Your hands might be resting beside you or on your tummy. Notice them feeling warm, heavy, and comfortable. For number 5, return to the shoulders and think about your shoulders drifting down, feeling supported, letting go of any tensions. We often carry tensions in our shoulders, so just notice that as you breathe out and sink back into the support of the chair, the couch, the bed, you're letting go of that tension. Then bring attention up the neck to the head. And it may be thinking about the number 4, thinking about your head being supported by cushions on the couch, on the bed. Or if you're sitting up in the chair, you might want to imagine in your mind's eye someone very gently supporting your head and giving it comfort and support, feeling the warmth of the hands holding your head. You could always put your hands there yourself for a moment, remembering to take a nice comfy breath in and let go of tension. Then for 3, think about your face and your jaw. And imagine all that tension melting and softening, the jaw softening, the mouth opening slightly as you breathe out. So as we move to number 2, I'd like to just remind you that we've worked from the toes, the legs, the knees, the hips, the lower back, the chest, the shoulders, the arms, the hands, and the neck, and then the face. And to imagine a whole body as we've counted through, down from 10 to 1, that we work through different parts of the body, sending a wave of relaxation up and along the limbs, along down to our fingers and our toes. So as we imagine that tension melt leaving our body, I'd like you just for a whole minute just to sink back into the support of the chair, the couch, or the bed. And I'm going to be quiet for 1 minute as you just take a break from thinking about numbers and just feeling the support. So that minute begins now. So the minute is coming to an end, and I'd like you to think about counting up this time from 1 to 10. And we're going to start to move to stretch in that counting up process. So we'll start by taking a comfy breath in. 1, 2, 3, having a little bit of a stretch maybe of our fingers and toes. 4, 5, 6, shaking out the shoulders. 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe opening your eyes if you've closed them. And just taking a nice comfy breath to finish off. And maybe if you need a sip of water, have that. And then I'd like you to think about using that exercise maybe at the end of a day. Maybe you've had a busy day and it could be your countdown to easing into sleep. Or maybe you can do it in the morning when you get up and you want to move about and start your day. Use that as an exercise just to focus and center, and then to bring the energy up. Okay, or as I say, if you're on a long journey and you're not driving, somebody else is doing that job, you can do that just to rest and to revive and refresh yourself. So thank you for your time. So that's our countdown technique, and see you again.